Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In these videos, I guide you through creating a little piece of art using the Zentangle method of drawing. In each video, I highlight one tangle, and then the idea is that you can take this tangle and use it by itself, or you can add it to other tangles to create larger pieces of art. So today I'm using a Micron pen. This is a PN, plastic nib pen. Any Micron or fine line pen that you like will work. I have a graphite pencil to do some drawing and shading, and I have a blending tool called a tortillion. I'm also using a 2" by 2" tile. This is called the Bijou tile, and it's from Zentangle.com. All of these supplies are available at Zentangle.com. You can also just use whatever you have around you. All right, the tangle we're doing today is called Sun, and it was created by another Zentangle teacher. Okay, we're going to flip this over, and we're going to start with our pencil. And we're going to put a dot in each of the 4 corners. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to lightly connect those dots, making a little frame for my artwork. Now, typically I would switch to pen at this point and just start drawing, but I'm going to continue to use pencil just so we can kind of get an idea of what we're doing before we put the ink down. Okay, so I'm going to put a little dot in the center of my tile. I know it's kind of hard to see. And then I'm going to make this U shape off to the left, about the width of my finger. And then we're going to create this spiral that kind of drops down at the end. So I've got my little spiral started. I'm going to come around and go down. And I want to go down, below that U. So I think if I did it again, maybe I'd make it go a little further over. Grab my eraser. Okay. So essentially we just want this spiral shape, and it takes up a lot of my tile, but I also have some space to add other details. All right, I'm going to go back to my pen, and I'm not going to ink in the frame yet, but I am going to put ink over this spiral. And then at the top where I started, I'm going to add this little bump. And I'm going to aura the spiral. So aura just means I'm making a line alongside the other one. So I'm going really slow. And I get to the end, and I drop down. It does not have to be perfectly round. It does not have to be smooth. The nice thing about Zentangle is that we're typically not drawing an object. So this one is called Sun, but it does not look like a sun. So no one's going to look at this and say that you did it the wrong way. All right, I'm going to go back to my pencil for a minute. So now we get to add a series of petals that start in here and come around and end up out here. There's lots of variations on how you can do this, but we're going to start a little bit small and then try to get a little bit larger as we go. If you better make them all the same size, go ahead. All right, so I'm going to do it in pencil just so we can get an idea of what we're doing. And I'm going to start at the top here. I'm just going to put in this cute little raindrop or teardrop shape. And if you have room to the left, you can put another little one over here. Okay, now we're just going to continue around. So again, I'm using my pencil and I want to make it kind of small, but maybe start to get a little bigger. And then I do the next one. And the next one. And I'm being very subtle, but they are getting a little bit larger. And I want them to bump into each other. I want them to bump into the one beside it. You can start by making that rounded bottom. And just coming out. So when I'm making these, I am kind of imagining a sun ray, and I want these points to just always kind of go towards that outside edge. So I don't want to make one here that points this way. I kind of want it to imagine coming out from the center and pointing outwards. Go ahead and make another one. So now I'm starting to get a little bit bigger. And now these might start to go over your frame, and that's okay. We kind of want them to. Right, I'm going to stop there and switch to pen. So I'm going to go back to that first one and ink it in. Do that little one I made beside it. And as you can see, I'm just kind of adjusting a little bit. I'm not even going exactly over my things, not on purpose. I just, as I'm making them, I'm not doing exactly what I did before. You'll see how it started little and it's getting a little bit bigger. And now I'm really going to try to take up the space that I've got left on this tile. So this next one I'm going to make even larger. I'm just going to keep on doing that. Again, these don't have to get bigger. It's not that important. It just kind of gives it a neat look. And again, I'm trying to point these outward as if they're all coming from the center. For some reason, making this teardrop shape, every single one I make turns out just a little bit different than the previous one. Again, I'm trying to take up space. So making these a little wider, a little taller. And now I'm running out of room, so maybe I'll just put one more large one in there. Or if I wanted to, I could taper them down and make them smaller. But I think I'm just going to finish that off with one more. So I love that this one is named Sun, and it kind of resembles a sun, but it doesn't look exactly like one. And most Zentangle tangles are named unique names so that you don't focus on the fact that it needs to look like a sun or a flower or another object. Okay, so we've got that part done. Now we're going to add some details on the inside, and this is where we're going to do what she originally designed, but you could make this 100 different ways and fill these petals with all different variations. All right, so I'm just going to pick one of these out here to start with, and we're going to do like an upside down triangle shape and color it in. And then we're going to put a series of tiny dots going all the way to the point. I'm going to make mine a little bit darker because it's hard to see in the video. Okay, and we're just going to keep on doing that. Adding this little triangle shape and putting in the dots. I don't think I ever would have thought to put in an upside down triangle. And I love that that's different than a lot of other petals that we have made. I just keep going around. I can make those triangles a little bit smaller as I get towards the middle, larger as I get out towards the edges. But the idea is just to relax and enjoy making that same movement over and over again. You can loosen the grip on your pen. Relax your shoulders. And just enjoy putting the pen to paper. Look how pretty that looks. I love it. All right, so now I would typically go back and ink in this, the frame. Sorry, I couldn't remember the word. Ink in the frame. So I just want to offer you a couple of ideas. We can just make the straight line, or if you want, you could do a series of dots. So like I could do like a large dot, little, 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 large, little, 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 large. I'm just showing this as a variation. Just something different than our typical lined frame. And I'm pretending like it goes behind these petals. So I'm not going to be drawing over the petals. I'm just kind of skipping them, coming out the other side. Again, if you just want to do a straight line, you can do that as well. All right, we're going to do some shading, which is going to make this look amazing. But before I shade, I'm going to put my initials on the page. All right, I grab my little pencil and I'm going to put shading along the outside of that curve. So going all the way around that curve, and then I'm going right on into that inside outer edge. So I'm not going on that stem, I'm going just to the outside of it. Then I take my blending tool and I soften it by pushing it out and away from that line. And then what I don't want to happen is I don't want a straight line of shading. I want that to blend out softly. So it's darkest close to the line and gets lighter as it pushes away. I do the same thing to that inside area. I soften it and push it out. And there we go. There's sun. There are so many variations. I hope that you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time. If you make this tile and you would like to share it on my Facebook page is Let's Tangle, and you can always share your work on there. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.